Hey, I figured it's been a while since I've done an 80s archives. I'm pretty busy this weekend being on the road, so I figured I would do my 80s archives right here while I'm driving and working. So let's talk about Bright Lights, Big City, a 1988 film by James Bridges. We follow Jamie, played by Michael J. Fox, also starring Phoebe Cates, and Allagash, played by Kiefer Sutherland. And what we have here is we have Michael J. Fox. He is a writer, and he works for an editing company, and he's a writer. His job is to find facts about the things that these magazines write for, just to make sure that they're not, things that are incorrect, and just to make sure that there's nothing that's not truthful. He has to find the facts as he does the writing and the editing for the magazine. And along the way, he starts to party with who he calls Allagash quite a bit. And Allagash is basically kind of like an old friend. They party quite a bit. They drink, they do, cocaine, things like that. They do stuff in New York where they're at right now to kind of just party. I guess that's something that happens at that stage in life. When you're younger, you party and you live it up, right? So that's kind of what's happening. So it gets to the point where Jamie is trying to recover from a lot of things in his life that have happened that have been very bad to him. He lost his mother. She was very, very sick, and she ended up passing away. His wife ended up leaving him as well. Look at the sky up there, guys. We got a rainstorm coming. So his wife leaves him, who's played by Phoebe Cates, and he's trying to get her back any way possible. She is a model, so he is trying to find a way to get to her. Allagash kind of has an idea that she's coming back to town, so he's kind of wigging out over that. So he starts to drink even more, going to some of these clubs with Allagash, and they start to party a little bit, and the drugs start to become too much, and the drinking becomes too much for him as he starts to become late for work. His work is real sloppy. He's making a lot of errors and things, and his boss is not happy because they're real critical of errors. They don't want him to have even one error, because what the company they work for has only had one error in like 50 years. So what happens is he does make a couple errors. He ends up getting fired. So now his life's just coming to a full circle dead end. He's lost his job now. He's partying. He's realizing that he's got to make some changes in his life. He's got to stand up and start taking better care of himself. And so during this, when this all goes down and occurs, other things start to happen to him and Allagash along the way. You start to learn more about his backstory. You start to learn more about his estranged brother, things like that. And it's just kind of a play on mental health, a little bit of a play on dramatics. Now, James Bridges, is the guy that actually directed Urban Cowboy. So, two really good films. Unfortunately, I believe he passed away at a very young age, if I'm not mistaken. Two very good films, two really well shot films. Thoughts on the film? I loved this movie. I loved Bright Lights, Big City. It had a great soundtrack, a lot of great blues music. If you like blues music, you'll like the soundtrack to it. Just really well shot. I thought the characters were great. I love the bond between Allagash and Jamie, although maybe not in the best of intentions. They still were friends, and we've all had friends like that in life where you party a little bit too much, and maybe you're a good influence or a bad influence on them. So you kind of have that aspect of it. Just a really good movie overall. I thought that it was, the ending though kind of bothered me a little. I thought the ending was very, very bad. I thought the ending really could have been something different. I don't know if their budget ran out, but I thought the ending of the film, I did watch it again recently, and I thought the ending of the film could have just been done a little better, right? So I don't want to spoil the ending because I'll give away the concept of the film, but the ending should have been done differently in my opinion. Although it wasn't terrible, just not what I would have thought would have happened. There was another part in it with a baby that was just a little cheesy that really probably shouldn't have been in there, but hey, it is what it was. But let me know if you guys have seen Bright Lights, Big City. This is your 80s Archives review on the road. I'll be back to doing them at my place soon. I've just got to work a lot this weekend. So hope you guys are well. Catch up with you guys later. This is Hobbs Horror with your 80s archives. Go check out Gentochi, who's also doing the 80s archives. Let's have fun with the 80s. This is Hobbs. Peace.